You know, I served on the front lines of the pandemic response, specifically within our rural communities and our sovereign nations. I was in charge of that response, part of the response effort. And what was very clear to me was the same thing that was clear to me before, is that lack of access to broadband to high-speed internet connection is a public health crisis, is a public safety crisis, and a crisis that we must be clear about the need to address. At the state level, I helped break down barriers, whether they existed at the PRC, at the Department of Transportation, to make sure that we were clear that that fiber needed to be laid and that we needed to connect as many communities quickly. In Congress, I'll make sure that we are working to break down those same barriers, whether they exist within the Department of Transportation, whether the Federal Communications Commission, or anywhere, so that a regulatory system does not impede our community's access to broadband. It's also my job as your member of Congress to make sure that I'm fighting tooth and nail for every single dollar and every single piece of federal resource of the trillions of dollars in infrastructure that our Congress is going to be invested. I am clear about my commitment and our need to ensure that every single family is connected. And I will make sure that we are holding those providers accountable for any lack of subpar service that they may be providing to our communities. Because what we have seen is that there are many providers that are saying that they're providing in practice, but in reality, our families don't have that infrastructure. I also want to make sure that we are passing legislation and funding that our families can access through assistance to make sure that broadband is not just accessible with the infrastructure needs, but also accessible when it comes to the cost. We need to make sure that no family lacks access to broadband, that no child is required to sit outside of a fast food restaurant to do their homework. And that will be a priority for me in Congress. Thank you.